value of output or intermediate cost is to be calculated, then see this would be given to you, right? But sometimes maybe say NVFC is given. Then first you will convert this into GVA MP, because the formula is only for GVA MP, not for NVFC or NVMP or any other aggregate. So for finding the value of output or intermediate cost, first we need the GVA MP. Either it would be given to you directly, or you have to find it, or you have to calculate it by converting the some other aggregate which has been given to you. So these are two type of questions which can be asked from this particular method. And for better understanding of the methods, you have to solve each and every question which is there in the book. All the numericals you have to solve. Now after understanding the concept of national income and its calculation, its methods, now we have to move on to another important aggregate of the national incomes, that is private income. Now private income is slightly different from the national income, because in the private income we are including the transfer income as well. Like if you look at the definition of private income, it is the income accruing to the private sector from all sources. All sources here means the factor incomes, as well as the transfer incomes. While calculating the national income, or while speaking about the national income, we talk only about the factor incomes. So you have to remember this, that before the coming of private income, transfer income is not to be included in any of the aggregates. Mean national income aggregate will never include any transfer income, and transfer incomes are included only after the private income. After private income, we will have the other related incomes which are the aggregates of private income. But first the definition should be clear and the meaning should be clear. And remember one important word, that is the private sector. Okay, you already know that the government is that the economy is basically having two sectors, public sector and private sector. Public is the government sector and private sector is the household sector or the firm sector. That we will understand just now. For understanding the concept better, just remember the four sectors of the economy: household, firm, government and rest of the world. So when we are talking about the private income, we are actually excluding the rest of the world, because we are talking only about the private sector of our own economy. So this is not included. Then public sector is also, government sector is also removed. It means it is the income of these two sectors, that is the household and the firm, from any possible source. Even if they are getting income from ROW, that will be counted. Or if they are getting income from the government, that will also be counted. So now calculation of private income is based on the national income or the domestic income, that is NDPFC. This is, you know that this is the domestic income of the economy. Now just see, there are two sectors in the economy which have earned this domestic income. One is the government or the public sector, and second is the private sector. And we have already done that private sector is including the firm and the household. Now and one more important thing that is to be kept in mind is that it is including only the factor incomes. Government's income is classified into two categories. One is the saving of non-departmental undertakings, and second is the income from property and entrepreneurship accruing to the government. Okay, it means this first is the saving of the non-departmental undertakings, that is those undertakings which do not have a separate department in the parliament and are under the government, like the state corporation of a particular state. Transport corporation of a particular state is always a departmental, non-departmental undertaking. Then income from property and entrepreneurship accruing to the government, like the government properties are there, government guest houses are there, government grounds are there where you can organize a certain event but government will charge certain rent from you. That is the income from property. And entrepreneurship, the government is working as an entrepreneur, like for example in the railways, BSNL, BHEL, these are the organizations or the businesses where the government is operating. So if we add these two incomes, then we get the total income accruing to the government from the NDPFC, or it means the part of the NDPFC which the government has earned. Now suppose I name this as A. Remember, capital A is the total income earned by the government. Now just see, if from the domestic income I subtract A, it means from the total income of the economy I have subtracted the income of the government sector. So what would I get? I would get the income from NDPFC accruing to the private sector. Okay, this is say capital B. So this I have calculated the total factor income which has been earned by the private sector. Now just understand that behind all this logic, behind all this explanation, the basic idea is to find the income accruing to the income from the NDP accruing to the private sector. In some of the question this may be given to you directly. It means B is already given. So you have to start the question from here. We'll discuss how to move forward in the question. Sometimes A may be given to you. That is the income accruing to the government. It would be written that the income from NDP accruing to the government sector. So in that case, these two things need not to be calculated or need not to be bothered about. Simply you have to subtract A from NDPFC and you will get your B. And in some of the questions, this may not be given to you and these two things may be given to you. Right? So in that case, first you will add them, find A, then NDPFC minus A will be B. After B, it means now we have got the total factor incomes which have been earned by the private sector. Now we add to it NDI, that is national debt interest. NDI is national debt interest. It is defined as the interest paid by the government on the public deposits. The money which the public is depositing in with the government in form of treasury bills or in a form of any government bond, the interest which government pays to the public on that deposit is known as national debt interest. So again it is also a source of income for the private sector. Then plus NFIA, that is net factor income earned from abroad, because the dealings, the profit dealings are being done only by the private sector. Government doesn't do any profit dealing with the foreign countries. Then we add the net current transfers from rest of the world or from abroad or from the external sector. Like a country may give money to for certain things in the some other country, like the World Health Organization also gives certain amount of money for the vaccines to be distributed in India and used in India. Similarly, the Indian government paid some money for the relief of the earthquake victims in Nepal. So these are the transfer payments which can be received by the private sector from rest of the world. And there is a motive behind writing this word net here. Net means that the current transfer can be from ROW and to ROW. It means my country may have given transfers to the rest of the world. So in that case, net will be found out by subtracting the current transfers to abroad from the current transfers from abroad. Like same like NFIA. Current transfers from abroad minus current transfer to abroad, and I will get the net current transfers from abroad or ROW. And next is current transfers by government. Here no need to put the word net because government doesn't take any current transfer from the private sector. It will only give the current transfer or transfer payments to the private sector. So it means after finding out the income from NDP accruing to the private sector, I have to add 4 things to it, then I will get my private income. That is NDI, first national debt interest, second is NFIA, third is net current transfers from abroad, and fourth is current transfer from the government. Add all these 5 things and you will get your private income. So if you have to write the formula for private income, it can be written as income from NDPFC accruing to the private sector plus NDI plus NFIA plus net current transfer from abroad plus current transfer from government. Or it can also be written as NDPFC minus the income accruing to the government plus NDI plus NFIA plus net current transfer and plus net current transfer from the government. So you can frame a formula for it. But actually this is the correct way how you have to go for the numericals. This is the logic which you have to apply. You have to go through the chart very carefully and then only you can understand it. Otherwise if you simply mug up the formula, it will be impossible to solve the numericals. Okay, so now after the private income, the next aggregate is personal income. Again, personal income, first we have to understand the definition of personal income. First understand the meaning of this term personal. Personal refers to the people or the public or the household sector. Technically calling it is the household sector. It means the citizens of the economy. It is defined as the income accruing to the household sector